nor distraction and wasted time. The time has
Right now, it's about that time. It's time for Road to Success, the journey. Babylon. And Sheldon Edwards is a celebrity barber, owner and CEO of HD Cuts in London. In Europe, he's known as England's unofficial barber to the football stars. The self-taught barber from Clarendon, Jamaica, has delivered HD cuts to the likes of US rapper Meek Mill, sprint legend Usain Bolt, international cricketer Chris Gayle, and soccer stars Paul Pogba, Raheem Sterling, and Leon Bailey, among countless others. Sheldon Edwards, aka HD Cuts, continues his mission to take barbering to a global level. Today, we journey with Sheldon Edwards, aka HD Cuts, on the road to success. Sheldon, welcome to Road to Success. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. And we're truly happy that we're able to do this interview this time for real. Welcome.
Oh, no, it's a pleasure, Kashima, man. Thank you very much. And you know what? Apologies again, because, I was really built up and ready to do this interview last time, man. But, work called, and I'm so happy. I apologize to all the people that was tuning in. And I'm here for real, for real. Let's go.
Absolutely. And what better way to start than just to start with your foundation? Now, you grew up in Clarendon, Jamaica. How would you describe your childhood?
How would I describe my childhood? Yep, I was born in Maypen, Clarendon. My childhood, I must say, my childhood was a bit challenging one. My parents wasn't really, they couldn't really afford much, man. But we did a lot with what we had. You know what I mean? And what I did have is a foundation and family and a great supportive network. What that means is I can pop over to my grandparents, I can pop over to my aunt, and if there's no food in my house, I can always go next door. That's the Jamaica I know and I used to love about, you know what I mean? So it was great support. Growing up as a child in Jamaica, you just have to just go to school and listen to your parents. I just used to always have to just listen to what my parents have to say. Go to school. I used to go to Maypen Primary. Fun days. That was great fun days going to Maypen Primary. I learned a lot. I used to take on soccer myself. I used to like running, playing cricket. I used to like all of the above, you know what I mean? So growing up in Jamaica, I would say it's fun, it was like just as a great family networking situation as far as I can remember, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And as you mentioned school, you also attended Glenmuir High School. How would you describe Sheldon Edwards in the classroom? Mischievous student, obedient, shy? How would you describe young Sheldon?
How do I describe young Sheldon? Going to Glenmuir High School? Yes, Glenmuir High School. That was a lot of my growth too, because I started going to Glenmuir when I was about 9 years old. I passed my common entrance pretty early, to be honest. I was one of them, what they call whiz kid. So I was pretty bright. I was pretty bright in school. I was shy. I've always been shy. I'm shy now. I'm shy now, but I guess I put the talent in my work. To be honest, I was in the classroom, and I never used to like to go to the front, but I was very academic in school, like in maths and all those subjects of English. I never actually failed those subjects all throughout my school years. I was kind of pretty much all clued in, educationally. So it was pretty good. It was pretty good and cool going to Glenmuir High School, man.
So, how old were you then when you discovered that you wanted to become a barber? Who planted this dream in your heart?
Who planted that dream in my heart? Hey, Kashima is crazy, but I don't think it's crazy how I discovered it, because at about 9-10 years old when I started Glenmuir High School, I'm like a third generation of barber. What I mean, my granddad was a barber. My dad thought he was a barber. He didn't really do barbering. When I say thought he was a barber, he used to try to cut me, but maybe that's what pushed me to become a barber, to be honest. He used to give me some horrible haircuts. My dad used to be, man. Rest in peace to my dad. He died last year, you know what I mean? He did what he had to do
Condolences.
to grow us up the best he could in Maypen, you know what I mean? So, like, when my granddad died, he left the shop to my dad. My dad was working as a security guard on another job, so he couldn't be there all the time. So as a 9-10-year-old, I was given the responsibility of going to the shop to kind of oversee the barbers. Well, oversee, you call it watchman. They never used to like to see me. You get what I'm trying to say? Because I was just there as a 10-year-old, just making sure I count every single haircut they did, that they weren't, cheating my dad or cheating me, to be honest, because, it was all in my interest. While I was there, I picked up the hair cutting, I picked up a bit of cutting hair. Of course, I was there as a watchman, so nobody wanted to teach me anything, so I literally watched what every one of them was doing, and I made it a little bit of what, I like. And Glenmuir, when I was going Glenmuir, I used to just bring one or so clippers, some old clippers that was given to me by my dad, and I used to just trim my friends in the back of the auditorium or the football pitch, just in lunchtime and break time. I was just practicing all my friends.
So you're telling me that from a young age, like going to high school, you had skills to the point where your friends would allow you to cut their hair, because we know how it is in high school, especially.
No, you know what, Shima, I wouldn't say skills, but I had something about me that they probably liked, and I was trying and I was determined. What I do have is a determination, and if I put my mind to something, I am going to do it, right? And I did tell them, I used to speak myself into existence. I used to blob them that I could give a really good haircut. At that time, I was just practicing, but I led them to believe that I was really good at doing it. You know what I mean? And I was determined to make sure I could prove myself correct.
Awesome. And ultimately in 1998 now, you made your transition from Jamaica to the UK. What was your first impression, and was it difficult to, settle in this new environment?
1998, what a year that was. Yes, I came to the UK in 1998 to join my mom, who migrated quite a few years before me. And true, it was nothing what I had in mind, because when I was in Jamaica going to school, we used to, as a Jamaican, maybe 90% of Jamaicans out there, 95, might think foreign, as they say, is a bed of rose, isn't it? We all Jamaicans listening know what that means. But it's nothing like that. You see, I had the perception that, everything was really glorious and good, because everything I used to want when I was going to school, or desired when it used to be Grand Market or Fun Fair or School Fete or anything, my mom would send the latest trainers wherever it was trending at the time. And I'm thinking, right, it's good, I'm wearing the nicest clothes. Everything is just perfect. So I can't wait to go to that place where it's all coming from. So when I landed off the plane into the UK in 1998, the place looked nothing like them sitcoms that I used to watch in America. Yeah, I was dreaming. I was dreaming of that like different kind of life, And when I went to my mom now, she was home getting ready for work, or she had to work like 4 or 5 different cleaning jobs. My mom was just continually working, some little jobs like cleaning offices and shops and everything, just trying to make ends meet. And I was shocked because I never know she was doing all that kind of stuff, trying to make things happen. So I was hit with a bit of like, reality hit me. So when I saw that now, I'm thinking, okay, cool. I went into the flat, into the apartment, into the house, whatever you want to call it. And it was nothing like I saw in the pictures. All of a sudden, it didn't look as big as it looked in the picture. My mom was just in the front room, just chilling. And my aunt was in the bedroom. Now we'd be sharing a 1-bedroom flat with my aunt. I'm like, wow. So now I'm thinking, as a little young kid, like 17 years old, I'm thinking, okay, that's cool. That's cool. It's not thinking. Obviously, the greatest thing was being with my mom, because I missed her. She migrated quite a few years before that. And, I just wanted to be with her and see where it's gonna take me, And to be honest, Kashima, while I was standing there, I'm a kind of person that I tell you that I start thinking, because I'm thinking, okay, my mom has struggled all this time, and I thought things was like this. I started thinking, like, how can I help my mom? She brought me up to go to college because, as I say, I'm very educational. I had lots of education from Glenmuir High School, etc. And I said, I had to find a work, man. So the first day, you cannot believe it, I took my little cousin and I started walking around into London, near where my mom used to work. She used to work into a takeaway, a family-owned business as well. So I used to have to sit out on the front, I just came and like literally just see the walkabys. So I took my cousin, there's a barber shop like about 2 minutes walk away. And I walked in there and I said, can I get a job? They looked at me like a 17-year-old, like I'm crazy. So I'm like, yeah, can I get a job? And this time the shop was busy. He's like, can you cut hair? I'm like, yeah. He said, okay, can you trim your cousin? Let me see. They gave me 2 clippers and I cut my cousin. Can you believe that? I've never, that day when I went into the barber shop, I literally worked until probably about 11 that night. I never stopped. They just gave me the job straight away.
Wow, that's amazing. So when you scored this job in a barber salon at 17, what was your motivation and your drive to keep going? What was your mindset and your thinking at that point?
What motivated me and my mindset, Kishima, to be honest, is to make a better life for my mom and my family. I'm the older brother. I got like siblings in Jamaica. I got sisters. That from my dad's side and everybody I'm the older one that have to set the way for everybody. So when I came into the UK and I saw what my mom was enduring and what she had to be doing every day, I made my mind up, and my mind was set from that time to make a change, and a change for the better, So like my motivation was literally trying to make a better life for my mom.
What was it frustrating at first, not having any clients? And I know you said that just thinking about wanting to do it for your family and create a better life for your mom. But how did you, deal with that frustration? Because sometimes when you walk into a barbershop, nobody wants to be trimmed by, the new guy. How did you deal with that, not having any clients?
How did I deal with that, not having any clients? It was pretty difficult, man. It was a crazy experience. And an experience that many would walk away, I would say, like endurance, stuff like that. People used to come, and it's almost like people used to intimidate you, and just trying to kick you off the focus that you got for your own self. Nobody wanted to come to my chair. The barbers was literally giving me the jips on jobs that they didn't want to do, or what they couldn't manage to do, But what I did say to myself is, and I told my mom said to me a few times, you know what, you need to go into college and focus more on the college. And I said to my mom, listen, if I come here one day and I got one person, in 2 weeks' time, it's going to be 14 persons that have made my client. My mom didn't understand what I was talking about, because I was determined that everyone I touched was going to be my client. If I get the opportunity to touch one person, I was going to make that one person count, and it was going to be my client.
Wow, that is super awesome. So when did you get the desire to create your own brand and ultimately to own your own shop?
How did I get the desire? You know what? Quite a few years ago, there was a player that used to play for Premier League side Tottenham before he was playing at Fulham in London, called Moussa Dembele. Now, I gave Moussa Dembele, I would say he's one of my first professional high-profile clients. I've been cutting Mikel Antonio since he was like about 10, 11 years old anyway. So if we were supposed to go that deep, maybe Mikel Antonio was one of the first. But let's just fast forward to Moussa Dembele. And he walked into the salon. He trusted me. He said to me, literally, from the moment I touched him, literally, I gave him such a confidence and boost. I knew what he actually wanted. He was so confident. I gave him a particular haircut, and I took a picture of it. When I took the picture of it, this time HD television just came out. When the television came out, we started comparing the haircut to how sharp the television looked at the time. And we started to joke and banter about it, like, it's as crispy, it's high definition, this is what it's about. And Moussa Dembele, like literally, we started to joke every time I see him that, it's HD cuts. It's HD cuts. Can you give me an HD cut? And we started to banter about it. And in all seriousness, I'm a person that when I literally start to focus on something, no matter what's in my way, I'm going to go get it. And my mom can tell you that about me, boy. So I started to focus on the branding side. So I got my first tattoo. I put HD on me. People start thinking, are you crazy? Why are you going to put something about your barbering or your work on your skin, on your body? And I'm like, you know what? I believe that this is more than just a barbering, and this is just more than just work or a word for what you guys call it. And I decided that I was going to just make it into the brand it is today. But I had no idea it was going to reach this far, I just thought it was going to take care of me and my family and just, and just make my mom happy and proud.
Now, along your journey, HD, were you ever fearful or had doubts about this dream that you had in your heart, or any thoughts that, what if it doesn't work?
Was I ever fearful? I think the only time that fear really kicked in, because I'm a person I'm just always working, Kashima, and it's almost like a reality never kicks into me, because I'm always focused on what I need to do next. And the only time then I was a bit fearful is when I was the shop that I moved to work. In '98 I came from Jamaica. I started working about 2 years later. I moved on to a shop. I moved on with a colleague. He became my kid's godfather, and literally he opened a salon, and it was new. Nobody wanted to go. I was just a new barber. I was like, I'm ready to take on a challenge. I'll come with you. It's not a problem. I worked myself up. Fast forward 10 or more years later, I built up the shop. I built up myself. And he literally wasn't with it when I started to build the HD brand. He kicked me out of the shop. I was shopless, Kashima. I had nowhere to cut hair. And at that particular time, that was the only time for fear kicked in. But guess what? He only kicked in for 2 days. Because I'm a person that I'm a person that literally, if you challenge me, I'm gonna prove you wrong. And when he kicked me out the shop, I went home myself. Of course, like any other person who's a human being, I went to put the sheet over my head and I lied there for a couple hours, couple days. to be in truth honesty, about 2 days. Then I got up one Monday morning, and my wife was like, what's good? And I'm like, I'm going to go get a job. And she's like, what do you mean get a job? I'm going to go get a shop. Because at this time, I wasn't upset because I couldn't go out there and do it, because at this time I built up a customer profile which is so huge. My phone is blowing up and I had nowhere to cut them. You know what I mean? And I went out, I asked for a job in another salon. It was a Turkish barbers up in the UK. And it didn't work out because wherever I go, I bring like hundreds of clients with me, Kashima. And the guy was like, you know what? It's not working for him because his clientele was mostly European. He's like, there's too much people of color in his shop. It's not working out. It's blocking his clientele base. Yeah, that's what he said. But then I had to move on again. I went to a salon. There was a lady cutting. Just opened a new salon like another 5 minutes. And this time it was all on the same road, Kashima, from where I first initially started work and got kicked out of the shop. The ladies were so happy with me. I was paying over the odds to stay in the shop because I just wanted to please my clients. At this particular time, Kashima, I wasn't focused on the financial benefits or what I've been gaining. I was just more focused on pleasing my clients and keeping the client base all together. Well, it didn't work out too well. The lady's been a year just as in a business. My client just literally overflooded the entire shop. They said it's not working. Again, I was on the bus. So would you believe it that within 1 year I got kicked out of 3 salons? I had nowhere to cut hair.
Wow.
I went to rent a hotel room down the road. I started cutting here and there. This time the money I was paying for the hotel room, I was just about making that money for the day, but I didn't really care. I was just taking care of my clients as I was on the journey. At this particular time, my traveling started. I started to go to Italy. I started to go to Germany for work, i.e. where you spoke about Leon Bailey. I started to go to Belgium when he was playing at Genk, and the brand started to develop as a global brand. Like I started to travel places, but I had no salon. I had nowhere to cut hair.
Wow. No, with like you mentioned, a global brand. I mean, with HD Cuts, you have managed to build a global brand. What are some of the things that you did to ensure that, you select the right team that understands your vision and also the HD brand?
What did I do to ensure? First of all, Kashima, I'm a person that's very respectful. And if I'm going to speak to somebody that wants to come and work with me or around me, your mannerism and your presence have to be 100% on point. So, when you approach me, if you don't approach me the right way, straight away, you're going to the back, and I will speak to the young guys out there, you might be going for job interviews, you might be going for university lectures, whatever you're going to, you have to make yourself represent what you're about, and, the image is very important, like how you present yourself. You have to present yourself well. And of course, you have to have the skill set and the willing to learn, willing to be educated, because all of the staff in the shop, I have to train them. I train them the way that I would love them to carry on, and make it a version of the HD with their own touch to it. Because I believe in people that should have their own growth, they should have their own growth. I'm not here trying to make everybody grow, me not growing themselves. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I believe that the HD Cuts is a platform that's here for building and growing barbers to realize their own potential and take themselves to another level which they never even dreamed of.
What was that feeling like, HD, when you finally got your own shop, got your own space where you could truly now take care of your clients without any fear of anybody kicking you out because of whatever reason? What did that do to you when you look and realize that this is my shop, your legacy now?
You know what, yeah? It's so crazy, but I've been asked on numerous occasions this same question, and it's only when I've been asked the question that it actually hits me. That's my shop, because I'm a person that I'm from humble beginning, Kashima. I used to when I used to live in Maple, Clarendon, when my mom migrated to the UK, we had to split up, me and my brother, and my brother went to live with my aunt in Spaldings, and I had to go live with my aunt in Frankfield, Clarendon. And I have to get up at 4 a.m. and carry water, like miles of drinking water for basic necessity. So I'm a person that stay humble, I used to sleep on the bed with my cousins, like 5 of us, toe and head up. You know the deal already, how we do it. And this is where I'm from. So I'm a person that literally, it's almost when you just said to me, my shop and legacy, and that it just kicks back in. That's actually my shop and legacy, because I'm always continuing to work to build the next level, or to build what I want to build. And what does bring me joy is the fact that I've created a lot of employment for people in and around me, and a lot of people is benefiting from the brand. My mom is living a comfortable life. She ain't working as hard. My mom only works 2 days a week now. My mom used to work 20 days a week. Where did she find 20 days? I don't know where she found 20 days, but she used to work 20 days a week, you know. And the fact that I'm able to create something that just literally give my mom a rest or a chill while creating employment and also motivating the young youths around me, because I brought mentoring programs on board. I'm taking up kids off the street. I'm feeding them through the HD way. You know what I mean? And this is what gives me that joy. And this is what maybe if you say I realize, or when I go to another country and I'm walking through the airports and everybody's just saying HD, the train stations, and everybody's just like, wow, you're always working. Do you ever take a break? Well done to what you're doing. This is when probably sometime for a couple of seconds, it kicks in, because then my phone's going to go off and I'm like, okay, I need to get to that appointment. I need to get back to here and I need to continue on working. So it's almost like maybe one day I'll sit down and just soak this all in. But at this present moment, I'm still on the go.
Look, HD Cuts, you are absolutely a big deal. In Europe, you are known as England's unofficial barber to the football stars, providing HD cuts for players before some of their biggest matches. How did you manage to, first of all, attract all of England's top football stars?
How did I attract top England football stars? How do I manage? I think personally, my personality speaks a lot, Kashima. And as I go back again from humble beginnings, it's a thing about me where I know how to create relationships. I will turn up at like appointments, like I'll get a booking, and it could be a Portuguese player from Brazil, or it could be a Spanish, or it could be, IE or Jamaican, and I travel with my little speaker box, and if they can't speak English, Portuguese, or Spanish, thank God to my schooling system in Glenmuir, I kind of, I wasn't too bad with Spanish. I kind of picked up a few things, you know what I mean? But if I can't speak the language, I make the music speak for us. I'll Google it, I'll research it. I'll research the client before I go there. I'll check them out. I'll see what they like, maybe what they don't like, what their language is, and everything. And I'll bring the music on board. And I start to speak to them through music. Then we'll be vibing. None of us don't understand what none of us is about, but we're about good energy, the body language, and then, before that we become like friends. So it's all about just like literally learning and studying your client base and just try to be that person. You just don't turn up with a money motivation, because where a lot of us go wrong in this, where a lot of us go wrong in this job is we're just focused on just the money side of things. And I'm a firm believer that if you continue and focus on your job and do it well and great, not even well, but great, to beyond your potential, the money side of it will come, because a lot of what HD Cuts is at the moment was not based off financial gains. I was getting up and going on a plane and people saying, bro, you're doing well, this is happening. And I'm going and I'm coming back worse off than before I left. I could have been better off in the UK, but I was going because I know what I was about. I was going to build the relationship, the brand, and to build with the person I was about. This time, a lot of the players in the Europe, they weren't making top salaries at the time. So, I was more like a friend of the players. I was a friend of them. I just wanted to go there, represent, show them my skill, and now we become great friends. And that's what I'm saying. Money motivation shouldn't be one of the things that keeps you going for your goal. Make your goal and everything be something that you want to do to represent you to the fullest, and the money will come.
Shall not smite eye by day, nor by night, nor the pestilence that lurks in darkness, nor distraction that wasteth away. The time of
Right now, it's about that time. It's time for Road to Success, the journey. Babylon. And Sheldon Edwards is a celebrity barber, owner and CEO of HD Cuts in London. In Europe, he's known as England's unofficial barber to the football stars. The self-taught barber from Clarendon, Jamaica, has delivered HD cuts to the likes of US rapper Meek Mill, sprint legend Usain Bolt, international cricketer Chris Gayle, and soccer stars Paul Pogba, Raheem Sterling, and Leon Bailey, among countless others. Sheldon Edwards, aka HD Cuts, continues his mission to take barbering to a global level. Today, we journey with Sheldon Edwards, aka HD Cuts, on the road to success. Sheldon, welcome to Road to Success. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. And we're truly happy that we're able to do this interview this time for real. Welcome.
Oh, no, it's a pleasure, Kashima, man. Thank you very much. And you know what? Apologies again, because I was really built up and ready to do this interview last time, man. But, work called, and I'm so happy. I apologize to all the people that was tuning in. And I'm here for real, for real. Let's go.
Absolutely. And what better way to start than just to start with your foundation? Now, you grew up in Clarendon, Jamaica. How would you describe your childhood?
How would I describe my childhood? Yep, I was born in Maypen. Clarendon. My childhood, I must say, my childhood was a bit challenging one. My parents wasn't really, they couldn't really afford much, man. But
I absolutely love that. Do not let it be a money motivation, but let it be something greater. Because like an entertainer who travels for an event, you alluded to it earlier, you travel frequently, just giving your HD cuts to your celebrity clientele. Yeah. What makes Sheldon Edwards so in demand? I know you say it's about your style and how you do things, but what makes you so in demand, really?
What makes me so in demand? HD cuts. Okay. Not to take away, maybe I might be a bit talented. I'm not too sure. You cannot take that. Maybe I do know to cut hair a bit, but what makes me in demand is the fact that, I'm resilient. Resilient in what way? I'm a person that if you're in Germany and you told me that you wanted a haircut at 8 a.m., once there's a flight coming to Germany, arriving with at 6 o'clock, whether I have to get up at 2 a.m. in London, 3 a.m. to make my way to the airport, I'm going to make that appointment. And I'm going to make the appointment before the time. It's a fact that they can depend on me, It's the fact that they know that if Sheldon HD says this is going to happen, it's going to be fact. It's going to happen. And when someone knows that they can rely on you, it's a big thing. You know what I mean? And it's a big thing. And then, like players, for example, they go through lots of ups and downs. And when they're going through the downs, it's good to have somebody that you can speak to, and I'm not saying that I'm here to give no greatest advice or anything, but it's almost like you just need to be a brother for a brother. You know what I mean? Without even bringing up what they're going through, you're just trying to just give them that therapy, and the therapy through my hands and my clippers, while I'm giving that great feeling, or there's something that I can say, you know what I mean? There's something I can say that can change their life and their moment. If you fast forward back, rewind back a few years ago, Musa Dembele said to me, bro, I believe that you're going to be great one day. You're a great person. You got great talent, and you're going to be great one day. And if there was somebody to tell every single one of us, the young kids in Jamaica that one day, how many great kids would we have running about out here at the moment? There's somebody has to speak it into existence for you, speak it to you, let you believe in yourself. You don't know what who you can be touching by doing that. And it's always good to be nice to everybody that you meet every day and say something good, because you don't know that's going to impact and change their life. It changed my life.
Yeah, absolutely. But HD, like somebody listening to you right now and I said, boy, HD cuts have this level of discipline. What do you do on days when, you have something to do, you have a job to execute, but those days when you don't feel like getting up and going to the job, how do you handle those tough times?
How do I handle those tough times? You know what, yeah? As I say to you, there's nothing could be tougher than growing up in Jamaica where I was growing up, right? And growing up in the countryside where my auntie barely could have find food to give us every day. And we had to get up at, like, people would knock in the door in the morning, like, there's water at the pipe and you have to get up at 4 a.m. to carry water miles. I don't think that there's no challenge in my life that's going to be greater than those challenges I've been through. And I think those challenges growing up in Jamaica help to make me the kind of machine I am at the moment. And I'll call myself a machine because it's not normal. Because what I do is not normal, because I've got a lot of staff in my shop and I take them on journeys with me sometimes. And they can't complete it off the journey some of the time. And I do it every day for 300